Welcome back to Ask Nehru. This is Anglo video series. I am so excited to explain this particular tutorial because in this video I am going to explain so many things. So what you will learn as I show you in this screen, so how to display value from array of objects into text interpolations. So this is quite very important guys because generally we will handle array of objects in our Angular project. Okay, and also we will integrate backend API into our applications. This is very crucial guys because it's the vital part of development. So whenever you are working in your company, the backend people will give the API and you will integrate them in the front end. So this is very important. Even if you are full stack developer, then you yourself have to do this. So this video will show you the light upon this. So stay tuned, and also if you haven't subscribed my channel yet, please subscribe it and hit the like button. That really encourages me, and make some comment so that I can correct upon that. Okay, thank you so much. And if you need some GitHub link also for this one, then you just comment it. Surely I will give the GitHub for the code, whatever code I just do, I will push the code into GitHub. Okay, so that you can have a reference of it. So thank you so much. Without a further ado, I jump right into the code. So I go to VS Code. So this is the last stage, and let me show you the output also. The output is here. It's simple guys. So now I want to have one thing. Okay, in the HTML, I want to show some fruits name. Okay, fruits name and price. So in the last video we had discussed about text interpolations. In the text interpolation, so generally we did with primary values. Primary value means simple string value, simple boolean, and simple numbers. Okay, if it is a list of values, especially the array of objects, okay, then it's quite difficult to display with simple implementations. Therefore, in the same text interpolations, we have to handle with for loop. Okay, so in Angular 18 there is a syntax at for. Okay, so by using this we will display the array of objects. It will traverse each and every objects within an array, and we can access the value from the object. Okay, it may seems confusing, but now for your uh, for your informations, I just create a fruits data. Okay, fruits data. Okay, it's gonna be array of objects. Okay, that's all guys. So created, because I have some IntelliSense plugins, therefore it creates automatically based on my previous practice. Okay, here you see fruits data. It's an array of objects. Okay, so in the array of objects we have objects. Each object has id, name, price, id, name, price, id, name, price. Only the value changes, the key is not changes. Okay, now we should display name and price. So as I have shown here, fruits name and price. Okay, now I just save it and go to the browser, see fruits name and price. It is the h1 tag. Okay, it is coming from the h1 tag. Guys, great. Now if I have to display them, then we should handle for loop. Okay, so for the for loop, so this is the new control flow of Angular 18. In the for loop, we'll give some fruit. It's a variable where we will assign the fruits data, not fruits data, I mean objects of fruits data. I'll do fruits data, I mean the same name as we are seeing here. Okay, so I just do for loop, but in the for loop we should keep a track. Okay, and what track will do? This will track the id. Okay, we will track the id because id is the unique value, so therefore we keep the id. Okay, so here I will do with the simple p tag. Okay, in the p tag, yes, fruit dot name and fruit dot price. What this will, this is simple JavaScript like in implementation. So we are looping the fruits data which is here, and it will render each object. So each object is assigned here. So then with the dot notation, as I shown you in the last video, if we have an object, only with the dot notation we can access the value of it. Therefore fruits dot name, because I want the value of the name from the each object, and fruits dot price, price from the each object. Okay, so now let me save it and go here. See guys, apple 100, that means 100 rupees or $100, however you want to take. Orange 200, banana 300, mango 400. Okay, if you want rupees, then we can add rupees as well. Okay, that's nice. So rupees is added here. So apple 100 rupees, orange 100 rupees. Okay, this is hard-coded value guys. Hard-coded value means, so we define the value in the TypeScript file and render in our template. So this is also a valid scenario, but we want dynamic value. Dynamic value means the changing value. Okay, so therefore with the use of backend we will do the same. Okay, so you have to watch carefully how to integrate backend. So from backend, actually I'm running Spring Boot application. From the Spring Boot application, I have created an API. Then the local host, the API is running API fruits. So there we have the same ID 1, name, apple, price 22.5. Okay, I'll show you what I have done. So in the IntelliJ is IDE where I have Spring Boot applications. The Spring Boot application I have created fruits entity. It is will be useful for the people who are from Java backend. So nice. So I have set a getter and setter using the entity, and I have related repository as well. In the repository, the fruits repository, just I have taken the fruits value, I mean fruits entity, and in the service I have taken the reference of the fruits repository by using auto-wired, and I just take all the value from the database. Okay, in the service file, and in the controller, the fruits controller, I just take the get fruits from the service. That's all. It's very simple guys. Okay, now the database I use a MySQL Workbench database. So I have some ID, name and price. So these is the same from the table. So we are converting them as JSON using our Spring Boot applications. Okay, then now I will display the same in our application. Okay, it's easy guys, but the implementation seems complex, but it's not complex at all. Okay, now I'm going to replace the dynamic value instead of this static value. Okay, static value or hard-coded value generally we say. So for that, what I do guys, I just comment this value. Okay, I just comment this value. For commenting, there is a control and forward slash. Okay, now it will throw error, don't worry guys. I create a constructor first. Okay, in the constructor I give private is the access modifier, and I give HTTP and HTTP client. Okay, so when I give HTTP client, that means this Angular will handle HTTP request, get request, put request, post request, delete request, and whatever other requests are there. Now what I do this dot HTTP dot get. This means we have declared in the constructor. So therefore, from the constructor itself, I am defining this dot HTTP. In the get method, within the get method, I take the URL. Okay. So this is the URL. I just copy the URL and paste it within the get method. This simple implementation, there is a separation of concern also that I tell you. Okay. Now this, since it's an observable means the data will dynamically change. So we will subscribe it to with the help of arcjs operator. What is arcjs? I have given a series of videos on arcjs. Okay. So here I give next the data which comes here, and let me console the data. But guys, for the time being I comment this as well because it's constantly throwing some error. Instead of consoling the data, but in order to arrest the error, I just do like console also, I do this as well. Okay, console as well. Then I want to declare this fruits data in the class. Okay, the class we have given it, and for time being I keep this as any. Okay, I keep this any. Then later on we will override with the TypeScript proper values. Okay, I remove this one because already we have consoled it. Okay, so now I'm expecting that the value has to come, but unfortunately the value is not come. If the value is not come, don't fear guys, just go to the console and see what's the problem. Okay, it is asking because we are using standalone component and no providers for HTTP client. Okay, so in order to arrest this value, in Angular 19 we need to go to config file. Okay, I go to config file app.config.ts. so here we have application configurations. Within that there is a provider array. So within the provider array there are many things already. So here I keep provide HTTP client. Okay, so this provide HTTP client is a utility that we need to use. Okay, now I save it guys and go to here, see the result. It's fantastically alright, right? You see guys, the apple 22.5 rupees. So the same value which we see here. So what a value we see here, that we are displaying here. Now I want to inspect and see in the console. In the console also it is printed with array of objects where ID1, ID2 and ID3 names and price. So everything is printed here in the console. Guys, one more thing I want to tell you. So in the HTTP we are directly using here in the constructor, but it's not a good practice. Generally we declare this one in the environment file, and from the environment we take into service, and from the service we will distribute the method which contains this API call into all other components. Now I create a new service where I will implement the same, and from there we will use it. Okay, so what I do, I just open the CLI, PowerShell CLI. Here I clear everything first. Now I want to create one service file, nggs, and I say common. So what's the meaning of it? Ng means Angular CLI's base command, G means generate, S means service, and common means the name of the service name. Okay, I just enter and wait for the result. Yes, immediately it's generated. So two files generated, spec file and ts file. Where it is, I just know control and click on it. It will redirect to our service file. This is what we have created right now. So in the service file, there is a constructor order, but I'm not going to use the constructor. Guys, there is a method I create with the name get fruits. Okay. So in the get fruits, I just do return this dot http, but I have to do same http implementation here as well. http and http client. It is throwing error, nothing, but we have to simply import it. Okay, because it will throw error if you simply hover on this and quick fix add import. This is also another way of importing. See, it's imported here, http client. So here I do http dot get. Get means it's a get method. Okay, and we have pasted the same URL which is running from backend. So I have pasted it. So this is the get method. Okay, I take this get method into our home component. So I remove everything from here. Okay, and I remove this private HTTP as well. I remove it, and rather instead of removing it for your reference, I just keep everything, but I comment this. Okay, I comment from here to from here to here. I comment it, and I create an ng on in it, because generally in the ng on it lifecycle hook we do this operations. Okay, in the constructor we should call the API. The API name is common service of common service. Okay, now it is throwing error, don't worry. If you simply hover on this, it will say quick fix. If you click this, it is imported from its locations, its base location file. Okay, see guys, common service. Okay, nice. So in the ng on init, I just call the common service. See guys, actually I have using a plugin. This is automatically generating so many things. I will show you the plugin names. It will be very useful for you as well. That is Codium AI, that automatically suggest whatever we want to do. Okay, so you install it, so it will be helpful for productivity. So, but I type everything. Okay, this dot common service. So we take the common service. Common service is the reference name of the service file, and the method name is get fruits. That's what we have declared in the common service. So if I go to common service, this is the method we have given. So we are accessing it with the reference of this class name, I mean service class name. Okay, in our home TypeScript component. So here I do subscribe, and it's a best practice. So whenever we use subscribe, we use with curly brace scope, and within that we use next. Okay, the same hereafter, the same thing as we have done there. Okay, here we do the same. Okay, what we do, console.log data which is coming as a result, and the fruits data. Fruits data is the data which we are globally declare in our, this is the variable which is useful to globally use the same variable in our component. Okay, okay, that's fantastically fine. Now instead of directly calling that, I call from the service file. So it's better practice to do it from service file. So create a service file, and in the service file declare the call, I mean get call, put call, post call, whatever you want, and from there use it. Okay, now I think the result will be the same. Yes, the result is same. Apple 22.5 rupees banana. Okay, guys. But generally, in the URL also, generally they use it in the environment file. From the environment file, they will use other things. Okay. So in the environment, I have a separate video. In this video, this is enough. Guys, actually, this is what you should learn from here. Okay. So see the implementations. That's fantastically fine. I see you in the next video. And before that, don't forget to like and make some comment, some appreciation that will really encourage me to put more videos. Okay. Thank you guys. I meet you in the next video.